Make no mistake, the year 2020 has been a very powerful year for us all. So powerful, in fact, that it brought us to our knees. But by the end of this video, you will know how to harness the power that 2020 has had in your life and turn it into a goldmine of opportunity. We get to determine if we will be empowered or defeated by 2020. I believe you are strong, and I think this year has shown you that, so I think we both know the answer. I am Kimberly, and you are watching True Stature. This channel is all about shutting down limiting beliefs and inspiring growth, authenticity, and even, yes, joy. If this sounds like your kind of community, then join us. We need women like you. Subscribe by hitting the link below and be sure and hit the bell to get notified each time a new video comes out. I am turning 50 in a couple of weeks, and my life has been a bit of a roller coaster of good times and bad times and everything in between. I have learned lessons that have now become the foundation that I'm building my life on. I hope to make your journey a little smoother by sharing the lessons I've learned and continue learning along the way. Now, this week is Thanksgiving week, and if you're anything like me, there's a bit of a longing in your heart right now, because perhaps you're thinking of traditions that you grew up with, family events and festivities galore. Perhaps you're wondering if you can even have a happy holiday season, because all of our normal holiday traditions are pretty much on hold right now. There'll be no coffee shop visits after a long day of Christmas shopping with your friends, no large family gatherings, no festivals or tree lighting ceremonies downtown. There is a longing for times past, when traditions brought familiarity, security, and love. There is a longing for the future, when perhaps there will be an end to the havoc of COVID-19 and all that it's brought to our world. We are wishing and longing for better times, but today I hope to challenge you to look at where you are at right now with a different set of eyes. Look at 2020 with a desire to learn the lessons that it offered. Now, our society is very much about self-improvement, and if ever there was a chance to improve, it's now. You are living in a time of immense opportunity for growth. The best way to harness the power of 2020 is to search for the deeper meaning and lessons available to us. I will be sharing lessons that I have learned, and perhaps you have had some of those same lessons, or maybe you've learned entirely different things, but I encourage you to specify the lessons that 2020 held for you. If you can do that, you can tap into a gold mine of opportunity for growth starting now. Not when COVID's over, not when everything gets back to normal. You can tap into that gold mine now. Here are some of the lessons I have learned. Difficult times help us to see things from other people's perspective and to become more outward focused. That's a good thing. I've learned that time is a limited resource, and we shouldn't waste it on things or people that don't add value to our lives. I've learned that you only have the present moment. 2019 is a memory, and 2021 is a hopeful wish, but right now is all we have. Acceptance of what is makes everything easier. I can learn to accept that other people view things very differently than I do, and that's fine. I can accept that COVID has taken us to our knees. Acceptance of what is, with a healthy balance of action to make things better. I have learned that other people can't make you happy, and it's not fair of you to put that on them. That is your responsibility. I have learned that if we listen to our gut instinct, it will never lie to us. I am following dreams this year that a few years ago I would have been too afraid to do. But I'm following those dreams because I'm listening to my gut, and I know it's the right thing to do. I've learned that responding is much better than reacting, and that emotional intelligence can go a very long way. I've learned that we shouldn't take anything for granted, and that we should be grateful for everything that we have. I've learned that we can't handle everything, and sometimes we just need to learn to trust that there's something bigger than us, the universe, God, something, someone that has your back. One of the exciting things I have learned this year is that when things change and uncertainty is all around, we can pivot. We can try new ideas to make things work. I have learned that fear will most definitely dominate our lives if we allow it to, but it can also be an incredible teacher, because sometimes the things we fear the most are the things that we really need to pursue. Another one, we can choose our battles wisely. We don't always have to be right. We don't always have to have the last word. There are moments when we need to speak, and there are moments when we need to fight, and we can choose those moments with wisdom. I've learned that we can appreciate the people more in our lives, that we can tell them why we love them, what difference they make to us, and we can get specific. I've learned that if you release resentment, you are so much happier. I've learned that we need to stay focused on our purpose. And that may be the only thing that keeps us sane. As long as we're holding on to something, we can keep moving forward. I have learned to shut out the negative sources and to be very choosy about what I listen to. Because you better believe it affects me, and you better believe it affects my mood, and you better believe I let it affect my day. So why not just choose the stuff that I know is going to empower me rather than bring me down? I learned that we need to love one another, and we need to remember that we're all just walking each other home. 2020 was the great equalizer, and nobody was left unaffected. We were all in it together, and we continue to be in it together, and we're all going through the exact same stuff. Let's get you involved in the discussion because your voice matters. In the comments below, why don't you put down one thing, maybe two things that you know you've definitely learned in 2020 and how that's going to benefit you moving forward. So you could say that all of our lessons are relative to what we needed to learn at the time, right? Which is why some of these lessons that I've talked about haven't really hit you, and other things that you've thought about haven't hit me. But I know for sure one thing is certain. Adversity is the best opportunity for growth that I have ever come across. My greatest growth took place during my biggest times of adversity, and I bet you could say the same thing about your life. So then how will you take the adversity of 2020 and turn it into your golden opportunity? The biggest thing any of us can do is learn the lessons offered and then act on what we've learned. If you know the lessons you've learned, you will be able to determine the changes you need to make, and we can learn to shift our priorities moving forward. We all have the same choice of how we're going to view 2020 when we look back on it. It can either be a year of hardship and woe and annoyance and inconvenience and loneliness, or it can be a year of self-reflection and self-acceptance, turning to what matters the most and listening to our longing and having greater understanding of ourselves and of others. In the end, we will determine if we were either empowered by 2020 or defeated by 2020. I know you have the inner core strength to be empowered by this year rather than taken down with it. You are the creator for how your life goes, and that is one of the biggest messages of True Stature. So I would love to hear how this goes for you as you begin to create the life you truly want based on the lessons you learned this year. If you would like to join a supportive community of strong and loving women just like yourself, then subscribe in the link below. Be sure and check us out on Facebook and Instagram at True Stature. Get involved, we need women like you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Bye friends! If this video was helpful for you, I think you'll like these videos as well.